DPP party, wherever they were gathering, there has never been social distance. So for you to apply it to be so restrictive on the MCP and UTM alliance, you have shown your biasness and we don't trust you anymore. You have to vacate. If you learn these elections with the same mentality and attitude, know this, Mrs. Jenny answer. Malawi will be against you. Malawi will turn against you. Malawi will hate you. That's what our introduction comes. Today's movies are as follows. Movie number 1. When a parent or an old man knows that he or she is going to die, humanity demands that they must leave a legacy behind with an amount of truth and confession on his people and children remaining behind. President of TPEX, Peter Mutharika, must now know, more than ever before, realize that the second phase of change is coming. And not the powers that be or the log regime will stop this change. Change that we are implementing now is inevitable, and this is our third independence. Movie number 2. DPP and TPEX President, Mr. Peter Mutharika, must smell the coffee that the change the country is fighting for is inevitable. DPP thugs, DPP ruffians, DPP gangsters, DPP killers, DPP thieves, DPP riggers, DPP violent people and part of darkness must know no shedding of blood, no arsons, no touching of people, no violence, and no chauvinism is going to stop this change. Therefore, this was the best and most important time for all of you to join us. Because we are for peace, we are for unity, we are for the better future of this country, including you. Therefore, you must know that don't waste time sending people, paying people money, expecting that violence will change things. For today, the MCP and UTM Alliance to manage to come and present their papers, something that you have fought hard to disrupt, something that you have fought hard to postpone, something that you have fought hard to cancel, you must know that even heavens have opened, that third independence of Malawi has come and is really going to happen. So no amount of violence, no amount of killings, no amount of touching of properties, no amount of torture, no amount of bribery is going to put you in power, because Malawi has declared now that change is inevitable and change is coming. Movie number 3. Reports have just come, and we saw, not just listening, but we saw Member of Parliament in Mulanje forcing NRB agents to register youngest children in Mulanje. And we are surprised because whenever your people of DPP are talking, they put the blame on the other party. Yet there are witnesses, there is evidence on the table, but you are failing to act. We are very surprised to see Minister of Local Government, Ben Piri, in Kasung, trying to play political correctness. Yet he is the one who is a masterminder of registering children in the Loma Belt. I want to say something to DPP. Chameleonic lifestyle, chameleonic attitude of being blue now, red tomorrow, the other day, that it's not going to help you. The best you could do is to fire my electoral commission, appoint a new election to continue with this process, and let those that have complained of the need for auditing of the entire system to be done, and just accept, let the truth pass. Let the truth just move like water. Don't be a disruption, don't be a deflection, don't be the block towards what Malawi is ready to do. There are bullets on that. Let justice and the rule of law take its course, so that after 3 July, you can rest in peace than being dragged to court the way Bagir Muzi is struggling for 14 years. Bagir Muzi was supposed to be resting. We go there and seek advice, but because of the system, the mentality, and the action that you are doing today, he is always being dragged to court. This is not human for us. We expect our retired leaders to retire. True retirement, that they cannot be dragged to court, to police, to do what. So what you are doing here, I'm talking to Mr. Mutaliga and your DPP party. The best you could have done, learn a lesson from what happened or what has happened to Mr. Muluzi, that 14 years is failing to be in peace because he's struggling to attend court cases or to appear in the court to answer charges that he committed when he never thought this time could come. So what happened to Mr. Muluzi may happen to you. We don't want the Malawi that will be dragging people to court, dragging people to the police. We want the Malawi that we can live in peace, all of us in harmony. Bullet number 2. After July 2, 2020, Malawi don't want to be doing things that you will label as retribution, as witch hunt, as revenge. That is not what we want. We want you to be, if you will be in opposition benches, you should be constructive. But not to blame the government that is coming, that there's vengeance, there's witchcraft, witch hunt. No, we don't want that. After all, Malawi is one, we need each other. Therefore, let us create an environment whereby these elections, whichever way they go, they must be peaceful, credible, free, and fair. Bullet number 4. Do not create an environment where animosity will be the order of the day. Please. It's our appeal. Please. When death mark, I want you to know this. There are other diseases that when somebody is sick, you know that here there's death. There's nothing, no doctors, no amount of prayer can heal or stop the death. So when death mark is on a human being, no one can change it. I'm saying this because what I mean is, if in your DPP you feel that you can win elections, then use best channels. Use lawful ways and channels so that you can win. But I don't think you will, because the alliance that we see today of MCP and UTM, I just want to give you a clue, because maybe you may be cheated, or your strategist may not tell you the truth. Lazarus Chakwera, along with the other partners before UTM, garnered 1.7 million votes. And Saulos Chilima garnered 1.1 million votes. If you put them together, that is already 2.7 million, in other words. Now, DPP garnered 1.9 million votes. UDF had 235,000 votes. If you put them together, they are not even making 2.3 million votes. Now, let us look at the new registration that are taking place now, whereby youngsters that have just clocked 18 are registering. We know from the database that not more than 2 million registrants that have clocked, or they are going to clock 18 by 2nd July. That number is not enough. We are talking about maybe 1.5 million. Now let's look at this. These are the young generation. These are the young generation that do not know anything about the Congress part of Kamuzubanda. What do they know? They know of the democracy of Bagir Muluzi from 1994. They know the democracy of Bingu Mutaliga from 2004. They know of the democracy that you have blood on the table of bloodshed, torturing, stealing money, and poverty. Will they vote for you? Obviously, they are going for change. Therefore, if there are 1.5 million votes of the young stars, obviously 700,000 or 800,000 will go to the UTM and MCP alliance. You will get less. Adding to that 2.2, still you are down. Therefore, we have to read the writing on the wall, because we know you have registered younger people. We hear, somebody gave me data that Mozambicans in Palombe are being ferried from Mozambique to come and register in Palombe. And this person that gave me that message was the NLB teacher that is now there registering. Now, even if you do all that, Malawians know who are real Malawians and who are ghosts voters. Don't think that we will just let you keep on adding figures on your computer and say that they voted. Our cameras will be there, our people will be there, we will be watching the number of people that voted and comparing to the number that you put that they voted. If you don't, we are not tired. Truth will never be thrown on the window. Don't think that we want to go back to court or we won't do anything. No, justice will rule Malawi because that's what each and everyone want. Movie number 4. Nationwide calls for the firing of MEC and the reluctance by DPP and TPEX President Peter Mutharika to fire Genians and the entire MEC is a ploy to frustrate contesting candidates to boycott or withdraw elections. But Muvi Chilungamo would like to inform Malawians that, I want to repeat, almost each and every Malawian wants Malawi electron of Mrs. George Nyansa to go. Everyone except DPP. We know Mr. Mutharika don't want to fire Malawi Electoral Commission because he wants to frustrate the feelings and mindsets of Malawians so that we can boycott voting. This is the answer we want to give you. Bullet number 1. With the alliance of MCP and UTM now confirmed, DPP and President Peter Mutharika must know that the nation and the world are aware of the forthcoming elections is in favor of the alliance. Unless other people are born from now to July and they turn 18, then maybe we can talk a different story. But as it is now, no ways. Therefore, we are not going to allow or to call for boycotting of elections. How blood it will be, how much bloodshed it will spill, how much tense it will be, Malawi is ready